So, today we're talking more about trigonometry functions. This time, we're doing the inverse of what we did yesterday, okay? So, to do that, we're going to be using cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And you're going to, whenever you're going to write it out, you're going to write it the exact same way we did yesterday, just with our new form. So, cosecant of pi divided by 2, parenthesis. But the difference here is, that's how we're going to write it, just so we don't get confused. But when you type it into your calculator, you're going to type it in. Okay, let's actually make this smaller, so I have more room to write. So we're going to do cosecant of pi divided by 2. So that's how you're going to write it out, but whenever you put this in your calculator, you're actually going to do 1 divided by sine of pi divided by 2. Because if we remember, our inverses is just 1 divided by whatever the original was. So you'll type it in 1 divided by sine pi, where is it? There it is. Pi divided by 2, enter. And you gotta make sure, gotta make sure your calculator is set in radians, not degrees, or you're gonna get a wrong answer. In this case, our answer is going to be 1. Oh, that's a really big 1. Let's calm that down. 1. So next we're gonna do secant. So secant, parenthesis, pi divided by 2. So this one's going to be 1 divided by cosine of pi divided by 2. You're going to type in your calculator 1 divided by cosine pi divided by 2, enter. And this is really important. So don't make your iPad go sideways. It's always very important. But whenever you type this in your calculator, you get an error, but it's not your domain error, it's a different error. So this error says error divided by 0. So as we know, we can't divide by 0, right? It doesn't work, the world will explode, all of that. So whenever you get error divided by 0, your answer is going to be undefined, okay? Which is going to be slightly different than if you just get a regular syntax error. So let's go to cosine and we'll see what happens. So, or not cosine, cotangent. So cotangent of pi divided by 2 is going to be 1 divided by tangent pi divided by 2. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to type this into our calculator. 1 divided by tangent, or tan, pi divided by 2, enter. This time we get error domain. So when you get error domain, or domain error, or whatever your calculator says, your answer is actually 0. Okay? So if you get a error that says error divided by 0, that's undefined. You can't divide by 0, so it's undefined. But if you get an error domain, your answer is actually 0. Okay? Gotta make sure you remember that. So, one last time. If you get just a error divided by 0, it's undefined. If you just get a regular domain error, it's 0. Okay? Let's go to the next one. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. Cosecant of pi is or known as 1 divided by sine pi. You'll type that in your calculator just how you have it written. And our answer for that is going to be undefined. So we got that error divided by 0. So that's undefined. Next we're going to do secant of pi or 1 divided by cosine pi equals -1. Lastly, we're going to do cotangent of pi, or 1 divided by tan pi, and we get another undefined. Okay? So we're going to do one more, and then we're going to call it good for today. We're actually going to skip down to D and do that one, since we skipped D on the last one. Also because I'm running out of room to write. So we're going to do cosecant of 2 pi, or 1 divided by sine 2 pi. Check that in our calculator, and we get undefined. I used the wrong color. Sad. Oh well. Secant of 2 pi, or 1 divided by cosine 2 pi equals 1. Lastly, cotangent of 2 pi, or 1 divided by tangent 2 pi equals undefined. Okay, so again, you're going to do 1 divided by whatever it is, sine, cosine, tangent, depending on which thing you're using. If you get a domain divided by 0, your answer is undefined. If you get just a domain error, your answer is 0. Okay? Gotta keep those straight. Make sure your calculator is in radians, or you're going to get very wrong answers. And again, if you don't remember how to fix that, email me and I'll help you. That's it for today.